Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate your calling this hearing on this important subject. One of the most pressing subjects we can deal with in criminal justice, and Mr. Liu was right, it's insanity to continue dealing with it in the same way. We've had a failure for years. We fail, we need to try something different. Let me ask the panel a question, and I don't know who the right responder may be. Let me start with Ms. Harris, because I liked your 5 minutes. I agreed with everything you said. I read that Mexico may be decriminalizing or legalizing recreational marijuana. Have you seen that story?
Yes, Congressman, I have.
Assuming they do, how's that going to affect the drug situation as far as Mexico, the cartels, the United States goes? I mean, if there's legal recreational marijuana in Mexico, does that take away from the cartel strengths? What happens?
I think that legalization in Mexico will reduce the cannabis aspect of their business model. However, the cartels are essentially, like Fortune 500 companies. They are well-run business organizations. They have been able to capitalize on prohibition that we have in this country and have been able to profit immensely off of supplying the demand that we have here and have not addressed. And so they've made an immense profit off of that. I think that they can, they have diversified to other sources of revenue, such as human trafficking and the trafficking in other goods besides drugs and besides people. So I do think that the issue of the cartel is one that is a complicated issue to address. That I think that legalizing cannabis here and in Mexico is one step to addressing. I think that if we decriminalize drugs and remove all of the profit that comes along with supplying the demand of drugs from the cartels, that will also help to put a dent in their businesses and in the violence that they perpetuate.
Exactly. Okay. Let me ask you this too: an arrest or conviction for even a minor drug offense in the United States can have lifelong consequences to the individual who's been arrested or convicted of that crime. They may not be able to get a job. They may not be able to obtain a loan, professional license. Maybe they can't get a college scholarship for housing, federal housing, etc. Tell me a little more about these collateral consequences and other solutions to address this unfair impact on our criminal justice system.
Thank you for that question. You really just explained a lot of those collateral consequences that people have. It really can damage their employment prospects, especially when we treat drug possession as a felony, which in my state of Texas we do. And the possession of any amount of drugs other than cannabis is a felony charge. That's on a person's record. It impedes their ability to get a job. It impedes their ability to get assistance with housing, with employment, with education. It can impede their parental rights. There has been legislation at the federal level to bar discrimination from federal loans for education for past drug convictions. I think that's excellent. I think that we need to work to provide for expungement for people's records, to make that process automatic so that people don't have to navigate through the bureaucracy of the legal system to have that happen. I also think that all of the reforms that we've been talking about here, about reducing mandatory minimums, about reducing drug disparities, all of those need to be retroactive so that people currently serving sentences for those things can be released for them as well. Sorry, I think you might be muted.
Mr. Cohen, you may be muted. We're not hearing you.
This could be the DEA interfering with the phone.
Here you are. We can hear you.
Great. Ms. Austin Hillary, I have a bill that would allow federal judges to expunge an individual's record if they go 7 years without any kind of offense at all, if they had just a victimless drug crime. Do you think that would be good? How do you feel that collateral affect people?
Congressman, I think that would be an excellent piece of legislation. What we need to do is to give people second chances. That's really what we're talking about. When you were addressing the collateral consequences, it is about giving people opportunities. We should not punish people for the rest of their lives for issues related to drugs. Your bill would do just that. And the people who find that have the hardest time getting second chances are the Black and brown and poor people who are most impacted by these onerous laws. So yes, I would welcome your legislation.
And unfortunately, my time is expired, so I yield back to Alan.